Hello, beautiful. So welcome. I hope you're taking this big hug for yourself. Thank you so much for being here. It's such a pleasure to be in your presence today. So I'm Aria. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. I want to share with you a few things that can help you if you feel like you're getting stuck in routine of life, if you feel like your spiritual practices are a chore or an obligation. It just starts to feel like the wheels are turning, but there's not like a lot of passion and light and life that lives within it anymore. And you can feel that difference, right? We know that difference. And when we actually tune in and recognize and bring awareness to this difference that we're feeling, this is when we have a couple options to take. We can go into the route of being frustrated and not understanding and really judging ourselves and harping on ourselves and all of these things, like really criticizing ourselves to the point where like it doesn't even sound fun anymore, right? We just want to feel a certain way, but instead of just like wanting to do it and, you know, comparing ourselves right now to past versions of ourselves, we can actually look to the present moment. We can actually bring ourselves into a space of opportunity. When you are present, this is when the opportunities show themselves so much more clearly. This is when the clarity begins to come through. This is when you begin to practice even deeper your trust in your own intuition, in your own beliefs, in your own gut, in your own feelings, and what you're experiencing in life. So instead of going to this place of frustration, we can bring ourselves into deeper presence. And if you are someone that feels as if you are going in this wheel, you're in this routine right now, I want you to ask yourself, have you been present? How present really have you been? Have you been present within every action that you do, within your interactions and your relationships? In the passing moments, have you been present with how you're feeling in any given moment? So presence is going to be the key here. When we allow ourselves to release what could be, release what was, and actually come to what is here and now, this brings us and opens so many doors, all the windows, to the possibility of what could be new, what could be fresh, the refresh that we're really looking for. It's this opening of space to drop deeper into your presence. It's this opportunity to make a choice. When we are thinking of our spiritual practices, it's important to remember, like, this is a choice that you make. This is not necessarily a chore, and it shouldn't feel like a chore, right? And when it starts to, that's when we know that we're shifting gears, like our energy is shifting, or maybe we were pulled back into the routine of just life and work and, you know, doing all of these things. And even if it's just incredible things and you're like, oh, this is everything I wanted, but it feels like a routine, feels like a chore, then okay, bring fire back into this place within you. Start to learn yourself again. Start to get to know yourself even deeper. This is such a beautiful opportunity to really get to know yourself on a new level, at this new phase, this new season, this new cycle that you are moving into, okay? So really opening yourself up to the fact that you are changing, that you are growing, that you are evolving, and your practices can change and evolve and grow with you. And your beliefs can also shift and change and evolve with you as well. And oftentimes we may think that we need something new when all it really takes is a deeper listening and connection with ourselves, a deeper presence with ourselves in the process. Us simply recognizing that, oh yeah, I get to be more present. I get to open myself up to a new experience here, a new opportunity to actually start seeing these things that I've been hiding from or avoiding in the time that I've been busy, right? Where you are stuck in routine, you're starting to get into your patterns, maybe again, or even just like a new pattern that doesn't feel full of freedom and life at this time, whatever it is that you were really truly calling into your life and looking to embody. Because when we embody these things like joy and freedom and life, it involves a sense of presence and openness to what is, and not necessarily going in the routine, because this offers space for spontaneity. It offers space space for our intuition to really speak to us, and it offers us opportunities to actually make decisions based on our gut, our intuition, and not necessarily based on, just the mental body and our thought processes and what feels right and wrong. So another thing that can be really helpful is remembering why you are doing these practices. Why is it important for you to sit down and meditate? Why is it important for you to, take care of your body, to do these breathing exercises, to make time for yourself, to step away? Why is it important? Come back to the original why. And there may be a why that comes up, and there may be an intention behind that why of why you're really doing this. So for example, I could say like, oh, well, it makes me feel really good. Okay, what's the intention behind feeling really good? It's like, oh, well, to live a life that I love, right? And it's like, okay, what is the intention behind that? It's like, well, just love, right? I want to embody that, just being myself. It always comes back to authenticity, being myself, honoring myself. And when we are stuck in routine or getting really busy and we are judging ourselves or missing a practice, or seeing our practice as a chore and not really giving it the space that it needs, giving ourselves, really not even just the practice, release that completely. Like, you are this practice, right? This devotion is what's really happening here. When you sit down and practice, you are devoting to yourself, devoting to your being, devoting to your core beliefs, values, and intentions at this time, to really allow it to expand, allow yourself to expand, and allow yourself to experience what is true and real for you, right? So you remembering your why, the importance of why you're doing it, can be really, really helpful. And also simply just remembering that life is short. You never really know when death is going to knock on your door, right? You never really know when you're going to take your last breath. So when you tune into your why, you tune into your intentions for doing these things for yourself. Because when you do things for yourself, you're doing it for all of your relationships, everything that branches out from you, your work, your business, your family, your partner, your community, your art, your creation, everything that stems from you, your entire life that you've created, that you've co-created with the universe, right? However you believe this is happening, like, it all stems from you. You are this trunk, you are this tree, and these are all of your branches. So when you actually take care of yourself, devote to yourself, you are infusing the rest of your life, everything that's branching out of you, everything that is connected to, everything that you may be attached to, with this same nourishment, with this same devotion, with the same joy, with the same love. And this life that we're living, that we are granted at this time, this heart that continues to beat. Thank you for beating once again. Thank you. Thank you to your body and whatever force and spark of life that is keeping you here at this time watching this video. That is how unknown life really is. That is the shortness of life, right? You never know. So when you tune into that, I know this may be helpful for some, maybe not be helpful for others, but when you tune into like, okay, well, I really could die any day. Anyone that I could love could die any day too. So why is it important for me to drop into my practices? Why is it important for me to, live a life of joy and freedom and bliss and, peace, whatever it is that you choose to embody? Right? Knowing that there is this unknown force of nature really flowing through us, allowing us to continue to breathe and, pump blood in our hearts, right? So really tuning into why is that important? What are you doing all of this for? Right? What are you doing all of this for? And for me, when I really tune into it, I'm doing it because I really just want to touch everyone with this unconditional love that I've experienced and I continue to experience, and to continue offering that and play with the idea of offering myself that and seeing how it shifts in my life and seeing how it expands my ability to understand and perceive and experience, right? I really want to live this liberated life that feels good to me. Right? And that's not going to look the same for everyone. So recognize that, especially within your routines and your practices and your rituals, okay? It's not going to look the same for everyone. So if we're going to go try someone else's routine, someone else's ritual, sure, try it, try everything, who knows? However, whatever you want to do, this does not necessarily mean it's going to be for you. And recognizing that if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? If it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel good. Really honoring yourself within that. We all have our own idea of what things mean and how they feel and all of these things. We have our own relationship with words. We have our own relationships with energy and frequency. So tuning into yourself, creating a space of presence to actually see what is going on. Why am I in this state? Why do I feel this way? What is going on in my mind? What are the thoughts that are running through my head when I don't do this practice? When I am not, when I am judging myself in this place? Like, what are those thoughts? Listen to them. Give them a space to just go nuts for a second if you want, or just simply speak to them and watch them like as if they were clouds passing by. You can even go outside and watch the clouds. Every single one of those thoughts, there's a cloud passing by, or you could go by a stream or just visualize a stream. All of them are just flowing down the stream, flowing down the river, being cleansed and washed, because you are not your thoughts, okay? You are not your thoughts. You are so much more than this body. You are so much more than your brain, your thoughts, your mind. You are so much more than it. These are all beautiful, powerful, life-giving forces of nature that we are working with right here. Our mind that has created so much within our own experience, within the connection that we have energetically and physically to our families, our ancestors, our lineage, right? It's carrying so much here. So you simply offering it time and space to express and be released is so healing. You actually having a conversation with yourself can be so healing. This is one of my favorite things to do when I feel stuck in any situation, or if I feel really overwhelmed with all the thoughts going on. I tell my brain, I'm like, okay, brain, or just mind, I hear you. Acknowledge what's happening and allow yourself to bring yourself home to your heart. Bring yourself home to your core values. Bring yourself home to your truth of who you truly are, of why you're really doing this, okay? And what's also really helpful here in that practice of like letting the mind know, like, I hear you, I see you, we're gonna let this go. You're okay, you can rest. Really meditating or just being with yourself and detaching from all of those thoughts, all of the stories, all of the attachments. Detach completely in whatever way that you visualize doing this. You can even bring in all the support that you desire, but this is a practice that we are actually going to tune into, and I'm going to lead you through and offer you with a practice, a meditative practice that you can do whenever you want to really detach from the thoughts. Really cut those cords completely. When you feel like your mind is just going nuts, or when you feel like there's just a lot of energy, we are not just made up of ourselves most of the time. We're living with, other people, or, we have these interactions. We can pick up on other people's energy and thoughts as well. So when we give ourselves a chance to just detach from all of it in any divine way that we choose to, whatever divine way that our higher self is choosing at that time, this opens up so much space to be like, oh yeah, I am free. I am not a slave to my routine, this thing that I've created, this thing that my mind's created to try and keep me like on this path to make sure that I have everything I need. But if it doesn't feel good, change it. Change it. You have that freedom to make that choice. This is a choice. Okay, so taking deep breaths. If you feel like there isn't time in your day, talk to yourself. Why isn't there time in my day? Why am I not offering myself just even a moment? Where in my day could I be offering myself that moment of presence to actually be present and detach from what is, occurring within the mind and the continuous motions of life that I'm living right now that don't feel completely, satisfying? And are you judging this way of being satisfied, right? You could have the most wonderful life, quote unquote, right? And you could still feel like you're stuck in routine. You could still feel like, you're not doing enough. So recognize that you are enough. You are beautiful. You are so much more than you could possibly ever imagine. And you have this ability right now to connect deeper to yourself, You have this ability to speak to your thoughts, to your mind, to actually detach from things, to open up some space for clarity, for a shift, for a change, for freedom. This is your natural state of being. This liberated self, this love, that is your natural state of being. So when you remember that, you remember and tune into your deepest intentions for living, for devoting to yourself, to your family. This is when you really, truly begin to connect and see the importance of this presence. And you start to act upon it intuitively for yourself. And this is where things get really fun. It gets really fun. So honor your season at this time. Create some space. I pray that this really assisted you in expanding your awareness of what is occurring here and your perspective on it overall. Just a shift in perspective can be huge at this time, but definitely check all the information out in the description box below. I would love to see you there, hold space for you, and offer you these 4 powerful meditative practices, as well as a bunch of resources, teachings, accountability, and support. Love you so much. Please comment down below if there's anything that came up, if there's anything that you want to share, like all of the things. Comment. I want to encourage you and send you all the love, because you are a glowing star and you deserve this liberated, exploratory experience of life. I love you so much. Please do like the video as well if this assisted you and you enjoyed it in any way possible, and if you've gotten this far, I'd appreciate it. All right, love you so much. I will see you all in another video. Mwah.